Hello, knowledge seekers. You just tuned in to Learning with Dante. I'll be taking you on the intellectual journey, which will challenge your assumptions and educate you on an array of topics. Whether you're a seasoned scholar or just a curious newcomer, there is something here for everyone. Prepare to have your mind expanded and your perspective shifted. This is Learning with Dante, when every lesson brings you closer to a more enlightened version of yourself. And now, let's get into today's topic.
You must learn. You must learn.
Hello. Over the holidays, I got a chance to spend times with friends and family, and we're all sitting, talking, and exchanging stories. And one of the ladies brought up that she walked in on her teenage boy in his room masturbating. So of course we all laughed. We thought it was funny. But I was thinking, what an awkward situation that lady had to be in, to walk in on her son like that. And then the thought crossed my mind, it's like how many other women have male sons that they need to have that talk with. So I decided to use that as one of our topics on my podcast, which is Learning with Dante. And today we're going to talk about male teenage puberty. We have a guest with us today. He goes by the name of DJ Nate, and he's going to assist me with this topic. But some people are not comfortable talking about these things or know how to talk about these things or don't know how to intelligently talk about these things.
I mean, you have to face it. It's an awkward situation,
Right.
especially for a mom to talk to her son about that.
Exactly.
But as an adult, you have to face some of those awkward moments in order to get through the process of it.
Right.
So give them a little grace.
Right. And so I was thinking also, like, she can't be the only woman that's going through this. So
True.
right. So in all my research and past life and all this type of things, I realized in order to become a millionaire is you solve a problem. And one of the problems that we have, especially in the African American community, is a lot of men don't deal with their sons.
Very true.
Right. Charlie Kirk.
Wow.
They don't take care of their young. So I'm defeating that, and also I don't want to just be locked into the African American community. I want to be locked into all races because as a male, all males go through this.
Truth.
Okay. So the topic is puberty. So first of all, what is puberty? Puberty is when a boy changes from a child into a man. Congratulations, you made it so far, right?
You got some short and curlies.
Yeah, right. So a lot of things take place during puberty. So as you start to go through puberty, you'll start to grow taller. Your voice may change, and you may get more body hair. So those are the first things that comes with it. I know my son, for example, he come running to me like, I got hair under my arms. I was like, all right, well that's the start of it. But I think he was like 10 when this happened. So most puberty can happen from 10 to 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends on your hormone production and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, because it's so much more than just those few things that signify puberty as well. I mean, having to wear deodorant.
Right,
you know,
right,
Things
right.
that can get you starting having a smell to yourself.
Right.
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 know.
So yeah, we're going to
Along with emotions and all that sort of thing as well.
Right.
Mhm.
So along with physical changes, you may also you may also start to experience emotional change. You hit it right on the head. So your emotions start to change. Technically, it is a time when you totally transform inside and out from boy to a man. So that's basically what puberty is. Your body is just taking place. You're getting rid of your boy body, turning into your man body. All right. So what triggered these changes? So what triggered these changes are hormones. Hormones are a chemical substance that secrete directly into the bloodstream. So hormones plays a part, and it comes from your endorsine, and I also heard it called endocrine glands. So it's another part of the systems that eventually one day we'll tackle all the body parts and go through all the systems. But right now we're going to talk about the endorsine gland is part of a body system. So it produces hormones that triggers your body to do certain changes.
Makes sense.
All right. And also it regulates your body. Hormones can also be hormones can influence mood and it really affect those in puberty. So let's take it to the adult side of it. a lot of times, especially if you're in a relationship with women, they go through hormonal changes.
Yeah.
So same thing with them, same thing with us. But I don't think as men ours go throughout life. I think it's just once that puberty phase, then you kind of get a hormone balance.
Yeah, I could see that, but I also would say or challenge people to understand that I believe that, and this is going to sound probably very almost chauvinist. We just give more credit to women for it.
Right. I can't be in my hormonal feeling. It's very unmanly.
It's not taught that way.
Right.
Masculinity.
Right. What's wrong with you? You on your period? Yeah, that type of stuff. Right. All right. So let's start with the personal health care, as we kind of mentioned earlier. You only have one body, so it's very important to treat it well. Ways to take care of it is eating well, exercise, getting enough sleeps, and practicing good hygiene. Marquise kind of hit on it earlier. That body smell. That's one of the first signs of puberty that I experienced. I'm not going to say his whole name, but his name was Sean, and we were in the fourth grade, and I was like, man, that cologne he has on smells really different. It's like it's a distinct smell,
Yeah.
but it really doesn't smell too good. So and then I don't know if their financial situation, but he would wear the same shirt all the time.
No.
And man, one day he came to class. This is the day that the teacher, I guess, had enough, and it funked up the whole room.
Yeah.
That distinct cologne, which I later found out to be must.
Oh yeah. or as we like to call musty.
Yeah. So he was going
Is that French?
Right. So he didn't understand it because obviously his parents or father, whatever, never explained to him. So he was coming to school super musty every day. And I really would notice it after we played dodgeball, how it would be really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
So the teacher had to introduce us deodorant. So that being said, my introduction to hygiene wasn't brought to me by my parents. It was brought by a teacher.
No.
Okay, so now let's fast forward to 2025. How many teachers is really engaged with their students enough to even have that conversation?
How many are brave enough?
That too.
Because I don't believe that with the way that things are nowadays, that basically it's fear. Because if they tell a student that and they go home and how it's delivered from this child to their parents on how the teacher talked to them about that. The teacher came and told me that I was stinking, and now the parents on their way up there to really handle the situation.
Right. So that, and then even like I have a little background about myself. I taught public schools, Jim Bridger Middle School for 4 years teaching science, and I would every now and then have musty children. This is in the 7th, 8th grade. They would come in, and I'm like, hey, I have to open the door to let the air in, but I never mentioned it. The one time I vaguely mentioned, like, hey, and I said it, hey, make sure we're taking care of ourselves.
Yes.
That's exactly how I said it. So the boy got an email from a parent, did you call my child stinky? I said, no. I said, make sure we're taking care. But he knew you was talking about him. I was like, well, that ain't got nothing to do
Right.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
I didn't call him out by name.
No. So hygiene as well. So kind of ahead of myself here, I know my son, for example, he'll take a shower and won't use soap. I took a shower. I'm clean. But that's the understanding the science of soap, which we'll delve into later. Okay? So another topic that we hit was eating well. Protein, carbs, fats, and energy are sources for the body. Exercise, sports, home routine, going for walks. Those are all forms of exercise. I know if you're not on an athletic team, you feel like you don't need to exercise. But even at that age, you still should be doing some type of exercise, some type of stretching, because as we'll talk about later, your body is still changing. Your muscles are getting bigger. Your bones are getting longer. You still need some type of physical activity to maintain that shape.
Agreed. And the eating well is huge in that, because a lot of the smells that we have come from what we're putting into our body.
Right.
Because, and I'm not going to go on the tangent, maybe on a later date we can go on the tangent about, what we're eating. But if you're eating a dead carcass, it's not going to come out smelling well.
Got you. Right. Fruits and vegetables. Hey, that is such a next topic. Because I mean, I understand too. As a child, you can't pick what your parents buy you.
And not to mention especially when we're talking about lower income schools and that sort of thing, the lunch that they're feeding them, the options that are given to these kids.
Right.
Not only is it starting a form of addiction to salts and all that kind of thing, it's also because they're using prepackaged foods and all those types of things that are going to cause them to get addicted to eating French fries every day for lunch.
Right.
You know, that kind of stuff. So, and then, like I said, if it's if it's not really for us to really truly be eating, it's going to come out in a foul way. Not even just under our arms, or when we as we heard when we were younger, cutting wind.
Right. So, like I said, so understanding what a healthy diet is kind of critical during puberty. Parents out there, make sure you have fruits and vegetables on deck. A lot of times, I ain't gonna lie, I buy apples and they'll just sit and no one will eat them because they're not like Chris was saying, they're used to eating the French fries and the fast food. So when you have fruit and vegetables there, shoot, I don't eat that.
Yeah.
But if you start implementing it early, it can go on to a lifelong habit of eating well.
And also in correlation with a lot of single moms working, don't have a lot of time to prepare a meal that's from scratch with healthy foods and that sort of thing. So we're getting the foods out of the freezer and just warming them up because they've already been pre-cooked.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
you can still eat healthy in a low budget way, but if
Absolutely.
you know how to eat,
it takes time as well, though.
Right. Learning and doing what's right. All right. So we're going to talk about the sleep part of it. Like again, back to the teacher background I used to have, I would notice a lot of kids would sleep all day in my class like they're in bed. Staying up all night playing video games was the number one culprit of why people staying up. Oh, he's tired because he played Fortnite all night and then had to come to school, couldn't function, couldn't stay awake. Sleep is very important.
Yes.
One of the main reasons why sleep is important because during the time that you sleep, your body is actually growing. That's the growing time. For some of you parents out there, you complain about your kids sleeping all the time. It's because they're going through that stage of growing.
Absolutely.
That's the only time they can grow. You can't grow while you're awake.
And I know I've read somewhere, and I should have been more prepared to give you exact quotes on this stuff, but between the hours, I believe it's 10 and 2 is when your body is replenishing itself. So if these kids are up playing Fortnite, eating chips and drinking Dr. Pepper, and I don't want to knock Dr. Pepper, in our first podcast, but it's not going to help this kid's body in any way, shape, or form. As far as they may still grow, but they're not. Again, it's going to come with it's going to mess with hormones,
full potential
hormones, and this smelly kid and all that kind of stuff is a part of that because they're eating hot dogs and leftover hamburgers in the middle of the night.
Right. So that rest is very important. All right. So let's talk about physical changes. Physical changes include voice changes. It starts to get a little deeper. And then it's funny when you come across kids, they still got the squeaky voice and they're in high school. It's like, boy, your balls ain't even dropped yet.
Yeah,
You still
old school.
So that is a part of your voice gets a little deeper. You start to see hair in new places, armpits, legs, and you are now starting to see your penis grow. What's a penis? So if you're a male, you have a penis, that thing in between your legs that grows. So as you start to get older, it will increase in size. Fun fact about myself, like I said, not about myself.
I'm going to say, hold on a second.
Things that I've heard. There was of course, gym class. So they come, I taught science. So they would come back to my room after gym class. And they were ridiculing the kid one day. Look, his thing is only a size of an inch. It's only a size of an inch. And of course, everybody is laughing and giggling. And at that time, I really didn't know what to say.
Right.
But now, doing my research and everything like that, between the ages of 12, 13, 14, 15, that's when it begins to grow. And then, too, I've said this to other kids in my life, if you are worried about that, go to the gym and just see me and come out the shower. You will see all shapes and sizes. Even when you think yours is the biggest, it's not. When you think yours is the smallest, it's not. So they come in all shapes and sizes, thickness, longness, everything else. And two, it's nothing to worry about as long as it is growing, I would say. I guess I can get more research on that. But I guess pulling on it, grabbing on it, and all that type of stuff that you would hear things to make it grow, because that's what kids do. They talk about things that make sense in their mind. But I don't really ever heard of any scientific fact pulling on.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at that age, when we're in a locker room or the whatever for gym class, that's where a lot of our false narratives
Gotcha.
and so many things are born. Everything under the sun we talk about in gym class because the gym teacher is kind of just falling back and letting us do whatever. So
Right.
honestly, gym class to me was a whole lot of just talking.
Right.
Conversing with other kids, and we talked about everything under the sun, girls, puberty, whatever.
Right.
And
Right.
So the false narratives that are given are from another kid that heard it from another kid that heard it from another kid, and we taking it as fact.
Right, right, and that's what takes place a lot. So, moms, dads, guardians during this phase, I would just let my child know that, like, hey, they come in all shapes and sizes, and there's nothing to be concerned about. And eventually, was what they say was meant for you will be for you.
It's for you.
Yeah, because I've done been in locker rooms in my life. I'm like, damn, this nigga shit is grabbing on the ground. Oh. You got some. It's like he's never gonna have a girlfriend. So it comes with. Oh man, I got stories for days with that one. Especially shouts out to ZZ and and Brent McCullough. So, but I'm gonna leave that one there alone.
Moving forward.
Right. So around 13, muscles get longer, your penis get longer. This happens for the next several years. So it's going to be growing for the next several years. Along the way, new height, you're starting to get taller also. You may feel achy over your body. You may start to become clumsy. That awkward phase of life where you're getting taller, you're getting used to your new body. Example, myself too. I used to trip over my feet a lot. When I was in the 6th grade, I think I was wearing a size 11 and, running around, tripping over my shoes and everything else. Like, man, this dude is so clumsy. That's why it is. They're still getting used to their new size, their body, the same way they could, example, run around a table. Now they're bumping into the table. Like, dang, you big clumsy dude. That table been there for 20 years. Now you're hitting it every time you walk around it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, especially your feet. You have these kids wearing a size 11 in the 6th grade, and they're just not used to that.
Right.
It's awkward. They walk around looking like elves.
Right.
Right. So of course we're going to other kids are going to make fun of them, so that makes them kind of draw in too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So or like we grew up, you start capping, you find another goat.
Right. Right. Start affecting self-esteem already.
There you go.
Right. And then also during this stage, girls will seem to be taller. Girls hit their growth spurt faster than boys.
Absolutely.
Right. So I got countless examples of the tall chick calling me small, even though I was older and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so girls grow taller. So keep that in mind also if you have daughters and versus sons, that the girls do grow taller. Back to the penis talk again. Now that puberty has started, the penis starts to grow, your boy turns into a man and capable of reproduction.
Uh-oh.
Now, that is something that a lot of young boys, that's why they have those kids so early, just didn't know.
Didn't know it all.
Right.
Didn't know it all.
Right. So when people say, that thing's lethal now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then now let's just talk about the times now. Sexuality is talked about very, very, very early.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Because they're active earlier.
Right. They're active early now through the media, music, and all that type of stuff. So it really needs to be talked about with boys now. Like, you're capable of being a father now. So you also have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, that's probably going to be a topic for another day. That's really big for girls, in my opinion, because you have these girls, just like you said, they get taller faster.
Mm-hmm.
They also develop faster.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have these sick individuals,
Older
men, boys,
Right.
teenagers, or whatever you want to call them,
Right.
are going to start pursuing them. So they definitely need to talk earlier, in my opinion, than boys do.
Right.
That's just me. But
Right.
go ahead.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, you're right about that. I used to live at a shopping center by a high school. And at the end of school, all you would see is Cadillacs and Lincolns circling the parking lot. I call them like, they fishing. They like they like looking for sharks. And then those girls would hop in the cars with those grown ass men and go away.
But you can also see, just think back to when we were in high school. When we went from, most of us, South Side, 7th, 8th grade, junior high school to high school, you notice the ones that were really developed, the cute ones and everything that everybody had little crushes on. When we got to high school and freshmen, these seniors, which were 18 and up,
Talking to them.
snatched them up right away. They ain't riding the bus with us no more. They getting picked up for school and driven home from school.
Right.
And we didn't feel like, oh, we don't have a chance now because they getting snatched up by the old school cats.
Right.
And it just repeats itself over and over and over again. But yeah, that's, again, go ahead.
Right, right. Well, yeah, that happens. So like I said, as a male, you need to understand that thing is lethal now, and you need to be wearing protection. That's a whole nother topic for another day.
Yeah, if you're active, that's absolutely
if you're active. But now, like I said, dealing with a lot of kids, especially nowadays, keep going back to that, they don't even look at the girls. They're intimidated. Don't want to talk to them, or whatever the case is. And that leads us to our next topic of self-esteem. That is a big one because, like, let's use my son, for example. He grew wide before he grew tall.
Yes.
So
Same here.
yeah, so he was dumpy for a while. And then he kept calling himself fat. Like, dude, you're not fat, you're just growing. He'll look at his 5, 6, 7-year-old pictures. I was in shape then.
You were A shape.
Yeah. So now he is starting to develop complexes about himself. You know, the big back thing was one of his names that he was given.
Yeah.
Because he had a big ass back. Like, your back is big. I said, but the beauty is you're gonna grow into it.
Yeah.
You're gonna grow into your big back.
Right.
So now he's damn near 6 foot in the 8th grade. Now his back doesn't look so big. So now he's worried about his stomach. But back to the diet we was talking about. His diet consists of soda and all these non-nutritional things, said the guy, the health teacher. But another topic, kind of off topic but on topic. Co-parenting. If I want my child to eat healthy, the other parent has to be on the same page.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So getting them to think that way, like, hey man, okay, you can eat the junk food, you're kind of 50, so it ain't gonna affect you as much. But he can't eat Popeyes and McDonald's every day.
Right. You're building his base wrong.
Right. His foundation.
Yeah.
Right. And so then you come off as being the mean parent because you don't have none of that stuff at your house. And then, like, for example, I make a lot of salmon bowls and chicken bowls. That it gets me through. It's quick, it's healthy, protein, all that type of stuff. But at his house, it's pizza, whatever he wants. And then I call it Restaurant Row. Every restaurant you can think of is right down the street from his house. So as a parent, it's real convenient.
Yeah.
I just go grab you something. He's happy, you happy, everybody's happy. But now look at his diet options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's huge. The co-parenting thing is so tricky, because sometimes, and I'm not saying your situation is like this, but out of spite. Because you can have one of the parents that has made a transition into healthier eating, and because they're doing that, or maybe they have a girlfriend or a new wife or whatever that's into that as well. They don't want that to be coming home with them.
Right.
Any sign of that other parent to come home with them, it's all psychological stuff that when you have an ugly breakup or jealousy or any of that kind of stuff, it is always going to be reciprocated into the child.
Right.
Because they're there.
Right.
Whether they mean to do it or not.
It happens.
It happens.
Right. So so that plays a major part. And back to the self-esteem part, that plays a part with the self-esteem also. Okay.
Open lines of communication on all things.
Right. So when it comes to teenage self-esteem, what are some of the things that should be said to them to help build some of their self-esteem? Things that I try to incorporate is, are you productive?
Yeah.
That accomplishments. Okay, you got up this morning, you made your bed. productive. You did something already to make your day go good. You
Mm-hmm.
got to the bus on time. And then when they go to school, did you turn everything in? All that builds self-esteem. Now let's take it to the other side of it. You didn't make up your bed this morning. You didn't do your schoolwork. The teachers are calling me telling you didn't do schoolwork. Now I got to constantly redirect you to do your schoolwork. But now, how is that playing on your self-esteem
Yeah.
there?
It's easy to work with self-esteem when you're building up and they're doing things right and you're patting them on the back and giving them participation trophies and all that kind of stuff. It's when they're, like you said, when they're not doing their homework, when they're not doing that, that's where it gets tricky because you do have to get your point across, but you don't want to beat them down.
Right.
So
Right.
it's a slippery slope.
Right. So the next thing that involves self-esteem is environment. What type of environment are you providing during these puberty time? You know, because like I said, they are going through changes and it's new.
Yeah.
Are you encouraging about it, or are you discouraging about it? Okay, let's talk about that part for a second. I talked about my situation with my nephew and him masturbating. That could be looked at as positive, I guess, or a negative. The positive is, hey, I know it's a natural thing, but let's try to clean up after yourself. The negative is, you in there jacking off again? you're gonna go blind, you know. But you never gave the positive or the negative, or you just straight in. I know when we was growing up, that was something you didn't even talk about.
Yeah, it's a shameful thing is the
Right.
way that it's portrayed.
Right.
But then you also have to consider, as far as the adult goes, that's coming down on them in any way, shape, or form. Is a lot of time there's the religious aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the belief system is, that sort
Right.
of thing. Because also as the parent, you're you can be a little embarrassed,
Right.
of even catching them doing it.
Right. Well, you mentioned something just now, the religious aspect, and I can only speak for myself on this. When I was growing up, my father made it perfectly clear that does not take place in his home.
Mm-hmm.
So I can, in a little personal information, I did not masturbate till I was 25 years old.
Oh, wow.
And the first time I did it, I felt scared, like ashamed, but at the same time, it's like, this what he was holding back from me.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was talked about in our house, and then like I said, I grew up in a religious household, so that was just something you don't do. And I forget the scripture that he would pound down our throat, but it just didn't take place.
Yeah, I mean, it was for lack of a better term, frowned upon. It was looked at like it should. If it's being done, it has to be hidden in the dark, type of stuff. I mean, to be honest with you, and it also happened a lot. It happened a lot. Not necessarily the masturbation though, but the environment that you were saying. How many people remember back when you couldn't get a certain channel and they didn't block it out? It just had a little fuzzy or some lines
You
to
had
it, but
to
you
wait
could
for it to go
still
clear.
but you could still kind of see it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you could turn to those. It seemed like they were always the high channels too back in those days. The real high channels, you turn to them, you be like, I can't see everything, but I get the gist of what they're doing.
Right.
And I know me and a few of my friends, we sat and watched that.
All day,
You know?
and you waited till to come clear.
Exactly. Or you had an older brother, an uncle, a cousin, or a parent that you found they had a stash of either magazines or VCR tapes back then, you know. So it's not like it was always made to look like you were sneaky, dirty, nasty for doing that type of thing or watching that type of stuff. So it's going to look like it's a terrible thing to do.
Right. Well, I know in our neighborhoods, we would find it on the ground. We would find magazines in the gutters, and then you would take it home and pass them around.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Terry Boris. But we would pass them around until oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. So yeah, so it happens. So
Hey, now don't forget the National Geographic.
the African titties.
Oh, that's terrible.
So parts of it, orgasm, that comes with masturbation. When you reach a sexual climax and ejaculation, when semen comes out of your penis, semen, the sticky liquid that comes out of your penis when you orgasm. So all that stuff contains sperm, And what is sperm? Sperm are the units coming from your body that creates life. I was listening to Kevin Gates lately, and not lately, but he was saying something about that. That ejaculation and semen is life. So when you are masturbating, you're basically taking life from yourself. And that's why some people feel drained. Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. You beat off. Now you ain't doing shit. You took life from you. You took energy from you. So there's I guess, limitations for everything. So that would be something that you can't just spend your life doing. Even though saying it to a kid, I mean, what do you say? Hey, cut them numbers down to at least twice a week. Because I mean, I know it's now. I got to step something now. He's starting to spend more time in the shower. Where everybody knows. Brother used to take 2 minute showers. Now he's in there 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, you soaking.
So his shower times are getting longer. So
And I don't hear nobody singing.
right. So I don't want to. I'm happy that he's taking showers, but it's like, okay, as a parent, I'm noticing you're doing this pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess with everything in life, there is limitations.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much access. I mean, especially if you're taking your phone in the bathroom with you and you're in there that long with your shower. Hey, buddy.
Right.
on, man.
Right. Then there's, since we're on that topic, porn addiction. There is starting to
Huge.
be, it's starting to be an issue. A family member of mine, I'm not going to blow him out, but a family member of mine, he keeps getting his phone taken away because he was using family members to pay for his OnlyFans.
Oh, wow.
Uncle Don, I need some money. Okay, here's $30. And then you know what he's doing with this money? Like buying chips, buying candy. Nah, he's subscribing to OnlyFans and you're paying for it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it became an
It's a huge problem, but I know a lot of states now have it to where on your phone and that sort of thing where you have to verify your age. Now, I'm sure there's ways around that. Don't get me wrong, but it's they're trying to do something at least.
Right.
You know, you got to start somewhere.
Right. Because like I said, addiction is addiction. It can start at an early age.
Yeah,
and I know
because it promotes, or I shouldn't say promotes, it creates an unhealthy idea of a relationship
right.
for young people.
Right.
Yeah.
And then too, you start to see women in a different light.
Yeah.
You don't even see them as women. You just see these naked creatures
Right.
that run around because that's what you flood yourself with.
Oh yeah.
All right. So along with that topic, wet dreams. When you wake up and wet with your underwear,
That
or
goes really
pajamas,
good with the porn addiction.
yeah. is your underwear wet because you peed on yourself? No, it's because semen came out of your penis. All right. So they were saying for up to 83% of boys, nocturnal emission happens once you start producing sperm. So once your body starts producing sperms, I guess it doesn't know what to do with it, so it releases it while you're sleeping.
Really, I never heard that before.
Well, yeah. According to this book, I'll put the books down in the link. But yeah, that's part of it. Now I will say that has not happened to me too much as I was growing up. I think the one time it happened to me, I was at a sleepover and I swore somebody peed on me because I know that did not come from me. However, so everyone has their own experience with that.
Absolutely. I think the ones that I had were a little later when I started actually being active. You know, so then the dreams became even more vivid.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I don't know. I don't remember a lot about it, but it was definitely more once I became active. So
Right. So it's hard to the dream about those squiggly lines.
yeah, the squeaky lines wasn't doing it for me in my dreams.
Right. Those squiggly titties this does something for me.
Yeah.
Right. So that happens. So that's all a part of growing up. Is nothing to be ashamed of. Clean yourself up and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So,
don't be trying to hide those underwear and all that kind of stuff.
right.
You know.
Right.
Get them stuffs washed.
Right. So let's talk about the automatic erection as you're going through puberty. I have a vivid story of mine. I was in math class, 7th grade, Mr. Parks. And during those times, we actually had chalkboards where every now and then you would call a student up to do a math problem.
Absolutely.
So I see what he's doing. I see the pattern. He's going row by row. Okay. So I'm sitting there. All of a sudden, boom, it's there. Like, Oh no.
Yeah, buddy.
So I'm trying to think of sad shit. Oh, my mom died. Oh shit. Granddad's gonna die. You know, I'm trying to think of anything
Yeah.
to make this thing go down so it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Danta, up to the front. You got your problem. So I stand up and I forget the person. His dick hard.
Yeah.
his dick hard.
Yeah.
So I'm turning red. So it turned to a full force roast session. Everybody's joining in. And Mr. Parks didn't say a word.
No.
But I feel
He should have. He could have did something to de-escalate that
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
Because that goes right back to your self-esteem.
Yes, I was scared to come to the class after that.
Yeah.
And then that shit didn't go away for like 2 months. And then I'll never forget.
Oh man, kids don't forget.
Oh, no. And then at the time, there was a girl in the class, Janella. I liked her. And she didn't like me anymore because
Redbone.
yeah,
I remember Janella.
your dick be getting hard for no reason. Can't talk to you.
Yeah. That's true.
So that went on for a long time. But I don't know what to say other than it's natural.
It's natural.
It happens. Just hope you don't get called up to the board.
Par for the course.
Right. Just hope you don't get called up to the board.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can't really. I mean, obviously, I'm not a scientist. I couldn't tell you anything to do with that, son. Other than, hey, I would. Only thing I would possibly suggest is maybe raise your hand, and because then here's the thing: you also have teachers that are jerks, male and female,
Right.
because you could raise your hand and tell them I need to tell you something personal, and have them come to your desk. And explain to them like, hey, but then that's awkward for a kid to tell a teacher, hey,
Right,
I'm sitting here with a hard on. I don't want to go to the chalkboard, but that's your choice.
Right. Now, too, okay, so that happened to me. But when I started teaching school, I was always mindful of that. So if I called on the kid and want to stand up and he didn't want to, I would just, not go right to that. But I would just assume, well, there's a reason why he don't want to stay up.
Yeah.
So I didn't allow him to get disrespectful or rude. I don't want to do it. You can't make me do nothing. It may be a reason behind it. He may have a boner and don't want.
Yeah, but you know what? And this goes back to what I think me and you were talking about this, obviously off air and sidebar. It's a lot of coddling going on, man. There's a lot of coddling going on, and just think about it, man. You went through that, and guess what? You lived. You know,
Right.
You lived, and you went on with life, and now it's just a funny story.
Right. Right.
But nobody remembered that.
Nah,
you know what I'm
nobody.
saying?
Only person member is me.
But that's the thing about the difference between then and now, because imagine if we had social media back then.
Oh, and everybody.
Or
you're
somebody
right.
and somebody would have been able to
You're right.
take a snap.
You'll never live it down.
So it's hard, man. That's a terrible thing, position to be in nowadays. You know,
Right. I didn't think about that aspect. Lifelong memory captured.
forever. And what they say, internet is forever.
Oh yeah. All right. So also, as you come through puberty, thrill seeking. You ain't scared of nothing
At all.
because at that time and period, you think you're invincible. I mean, we all know that things can hurt yourself and you can die and do this and do that. But at that point in time, lots of teens are reckless, and boys tend to be more reckless than girls. We had a wheelie ramp in our front yard, and when I tell you we was Evil Knievel, because at that time Evil Knievel was popular. We was laying in front of it, jumping off of
Oh
it.
yeah, having people lay down. How many people can you jump over?
Yeah. So that is very, very part of being a teenager, part of growing up is that invincible. You start to feel invincible. So you just got to be mindful of that. And then too, it's good to have that person that will be like, you know what, that's a bad idea. So there's some teenagers that are more mature in that aspects, and then you got some that go all in. Now, on the flip side of that, though, I feel like your best football players, especially the younger ones, are the ones that are your risk takers. The ones that will run in, like as the coach say, run into a wall for you.
Yeah, that's the thing that I always, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. I really feel like a lot of kids would benefit so much from either joining any type of team, because it does make you comfortable in situations like that because you're in the locker room. And yeah, you might hear a couple jokes or whatever, but it makes you comfortable with your body because you're taking showers and you're doing all that kind of stuff. So it's the thrill seeking part of it. Probably not a part of this, but it's definitely makes you a little more tough,
Right.
for lack of a better term.
Right, right, and as you say that, right, sports is one of the main things as a young growing person should be doing for physical activities, for strength and everything like that. And I feel sports, especially if you was an aggressive kid, that was your outlet.
True.
You can't go around fighting everybody, but in football you can knock them down. But now with I'll call it demasculation that's taking place, they're even making sports where you can't be as aggressive. Like, let's take football, for example.
Oh, yeah.
All these rules. Yeah. You can't do this. Oh, you hit him too hard. Legal contact. Like, you didn't have to hurt him like that.
Yeah.
So they're taking that outlet for aggression. You know, I mean, I understand there's wrestling, but how many schools really got wrestling teams now?
It's true.
And it's not the popular thing to do. You don't hear too many NIL deals going out to wrestlers.
Say it's not a lot of money in it.
No.
Not a lot of people showing up. And now, don't get me wrong, where we grew up in the Midwest, that's a big deal. Wrestling is huge.
Right.
Iowas and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But in most places, you're not seeing highlights on ESPN from any wrestling match.
Right.
You're seeing basketball and football.
Right.
You know?
So there has to be an outlet for boys to be boys. Example, last night I wrestled with my son, and he hollering, screaming, and crying the whole time. Like, dude, get me off of you.
Yeah, fight me back.
Yeah, I mean, hollering and screaming for mama is great, but at the end of the day, you got to get me off of you.
Yeah. But it also gives you teams. I mean, the ability to learn how to work as a team. It teaches you. You have. I feel like a lot of, especially if you are a young person that's moving into a different city or a different school or something like that.
That's their first outlet to get you involved.
If you can get a child into any type of sports or any club for that matter, you have built. I know that I moved quite a bit when I was young, so sports enabled me to always have 30 to 40 friends before school even started.
Right.
You know, I've already been called names. We already had our little fisticuffs or
whatever. The pecking order. Who was tougher than who?
So by the time we got to school,
already...
I'm walking through the hallway, high-fiving people, and I know people.
Right.
That's a great outlet for kids, man.
Right. So, and that's a great segment to the next part. Stress and anxiety. Not having no friends can lead to stress. Dealing with the wrong type of friends can lead to stress.
Facts.
Right. So all that plays a part. Like you kind of hit on it. Organization is one area in which girls are generally superior to. These are exceptions, but in general, we walk around like Mormon slobs while they're keeping everything neatly organized. So a lot of times in boys, that organization releads to stress. I'm still going through with my son with the wrinkled papers in his backpack. Like, can you put it in your folder? You know, so organization skills and things like that take away stress and anxiety. So as a young teenager, what are some ways that they can deal with stress and anxiety?
In my humble opinion, stress and anxiety is, first you got to understand that they don't even know what stress and anxiety is.
Right.
So all they know is peer pressure.
Gotcha. That's what our next segment, right?
You know, peer pressure is huge in that because the stress and anxiety they're feeling is usually only, now don't get me wrong, because you have some low income, high crime areas where you do have stress because you have these kids dealing with adult situations.
Life or death, right?
Yeah. But your normal child is probably, I ain't gonna say normal, that's a terrible term. Majority of children are just dealing with things as simple as he has the new PlayStation and I don't.
Ours was bicycles,
cars, phones, any of that kind of stuff.
Right, now it's phones, right?
Yeah, so that's the quote unquote stress and anxiety that they're dealing with. And honestly, the only way to deal with it depends on their age, first of all. If you're talking about from the age of puberty, I should be able to have a little bit of a genuine conversation with my child if I see that they're able to handle that.
Right.
Because if you're stressing over this thing, I need to be able to talk to you about it.
Right.
So I feel like the stress and anxiety portion of it falls a lot on the parents. Because if a kid knows why they can't have something, they may not be able to deal with or be happy about that. But at least they know the why.
Right, better understanding.
Yeah, they know the why.
Right. Right. So a lot of the stressors that a young person will have going through puberty be hobbies, school, love, sleep, hair, popularity, parents, height, friends, in some cases work. But I'm not going to harp on the work part because hopefully you're not working
And
until
you said love, right?
Yeah. So that goes with anxiety too. So another
Crushes.
story. Yeah. I had a girlfriend in 7th grade, and thought it was my girlfriend was in 7th grade. So I was in love. First person I kissed and all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And as we got older, like I said, I'm in the 7th grade, and once again, girls mature more faster than boys. So I'm pretty sure she was sexually harassed more than I did.
Oh, absolutely.
So she ended up leaving me for a guy that drove a car and was 21 years old.
Oh,
mine,
man.
we were in the 7th grade.
Oh my.
So imagine
Pedophile.
man. But on my end, the crush,
Crushed
like,
you.
well, he got a car and you don't. I'm in the 7th grade.
What kind of? I can't even do anything about
Yeah.
that.
So now anxiety, stress, sadness.
Sadness.
Yeah, I didn't want to go. We had music class together. I didn't want to go to music class anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would, and I definitely understand where you're coming from there. That's put that out of your control.
Right.
But where I was going with it was, as far as the love goes, is again back on the parents. You can't underestimate the love that you had for that girl.
Right.
Because I mean, we as parents will blow that thing off like,
No,
oh,
that's
that's puppy love,
Right,
puppy
right.
love. But no, I don't know. All I know is what I've been
I
through in life.
love her.
All I know what love is as far as my definition of love from what
Right.
I've experienced. So you
Right.
can't tell me I don't love her.
Right.
You can't. Parents really screw that up
Right.
by saying puppy love or don't get over. You'll have 1,000 girlfriends. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But at this
She's it.
moment in life, she was the one. I thought we gonna have babies. We done,
Right.
I don't even know how to have babies yet, possibly.
Right.
But I just thought that this was gonna be my wife,
Right. Right.
and now she gone.
Right. Just like
And how
that.
do I deal with that?
Right.
How do I deal with that, mom, dad?
Right.
Not just get over it. You get another girlfriend, and next week you'll be
Right.
been and forgot all about her. No, I'm
No,
not.
No, I'm not. I got to go to 6th period every day.
So now I'm stressed out and have anxiety and possibly, especially in today's world, suicidal.
Right. Right.
And because you didn't take it serious,
Right.
you're a part of the blame.
Right.
So you got to take these kids' emotions very serious.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Some things are, you can play with,
Right.
but some of that stuff, especially not love.
Huh.
How do you feel when your heart was broken?
Exactly. That's what I said. I can't go out for a drink at 7 years old. I just got to deal with it. And then even now, some adults can't deal with life situations. Yeah. So that is an interesting thing, and that is something to keep in top. So along with that, let's talk about depression. Man, I know I've dealt with it as a teenager. Sometimes, like I said, that situation, and then sometimes life is life. Like I experienced a lot of death early. So as a kid, you don't really understand the size of their depression because, oh, you're a kid. You got a long life to live. Get over it. But like I said, so in that case, along with the emotions, along with the hormones, along with everything else, now you got to deal with this. So it's in some cases, I would recommend counseling for kids, especially if you see your child going through this for weeks and weeks and weeks at a time. They're not snapping out of it. What they say, lack of hobbies. They're not doing things they used to do. They're not eating the way that they were. Your relationship with your child is starting to go down. Those are signs that you may need to seek some type of professional help or some type of therapy. All right.
Yeah, that depression is a very serious thing because it can be hidden. You can put on a pretty face.
Exactly. Especially if you're working 2 shifts and you never see your child a couple of hours out the day.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
They can put on a pretty face. Because they can go and do all the chores that you wanted them to do and do all that kind of stuff. But when they close their bedroom door, they're crushed, crying all the time, doing all this kind of stuff that you have no idea that they're going through. That's why it's very difficult in today's age with the economy and all that kind of stuff. A lot of this stuff as parents, man, they can't possibly be everything and be everywhere for these kids. And that's a 2-parent household.
Right.
So I would suggest, in my opinion, of dealing with any type of depression, conversation. I'm big on communication. How are you feeling? How you doing?
Right.
Let's sit down. Even if you work a double shift,
Right.
give that kid at least a few. I mean, start out, you thinking it's going to be 10, 15-minute conversation, not just you throwing your keys down. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. And you keep on walking, take a shower, go to
Right.
bed. Nah, you have to take a moment and look at your child.
Ha, look.
You have to look at your child. You have to look at your child. Look at how they look. Look them in their eyes. You've been knowing them their whole life.
Right. Hey, looking at the child is funny you bring that up. We get a knock at the door, and it's a guy. And he got this kid with him. He's like, hey, your son is giving my son weed. And we're like, huh? But then I looked at his son, eyes bloodshot red, just high.
Baked.
He looked at his son, and then hey, you high.
Yeah.
But if he never would have looked at him, hey, how you doing? I'm doing fine, son. Go to room, go to your room.
Yeah.
You never even noticed, but he looked at him and like, man, something ain't right.
Exactly. I mean, stop. If you come in and they're playing the video game, pause. I'm in the middle of pause. How are you doing? And I'm looking you in your eye, you know. And if you looking away, looking down, doing all that kind of stuff, something's going on.
Right. So quick interlude about drugs. It's more prevalent now than ever.
Huge.
I live in Nevada where marijuana is legal. And
As I do in Arizona.
yeah, so it's a lot of kids are getting their hands on gummies and weed.
Yeah.
Short story, I've known parents that tested their 13, 14-year-old tested positive for marijuana already.
Yeah.
As an adult, sometimes we leave our weed stash, not stash, or at least in plain view.
Yeah.
So they can pick it up, smoke it, gummies, eat it, and everything else. So
it's hard to track nowadays.
yeah, it's hard to track down. So it's important to have that conversation. And me being a science teacher and a health teacher, I always bring the fact to any kid.
Development.
Your brain does not fully develop till you're 25 years old.
Yeah.
So if you're doing things 14, 15, 16, up to 25, it's no way your brain can function at its full capacity because you damaged it.
Truth.
Irreversible damage.
Truth.
Right? So that has to be stressed. That's why I said all the kids that I deal with, all the kids I talk to, at what age your brain fully developed? 25. I try to pound that point home.
Yeah. And it's not just drugs, it's tobacco and alcohol as well.
Right. Tobacco. But now I can say in our generation, we was drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think I smoked weed really till like my senior year.
Oh man,
in
the
high school.
campaigns. I mean, even beyond the Nancy Reagan just say no. Even in hip hop,
Right.
they made it to where it was like, oh man, you won't do that,
Right.
Right.
Right. Because like
and then the Chronic came out.
Right. It changed the game. But I remember listening to Biz Markie. If you smoke crack, you whack. And it just stuck.
Yeah.
So I can say,
But-
I certain drugs I just never participate in because
Yeah.
I was taught at an early age. Crack killed Applejack. You don't want to
Yeah.
hit that smack. I mean, it was just it inbred in you that you don't do it.
Quick story. I remember being at Streety Park. For those who don't know, I'm from Anderson, Indiana. We were at Streety Park, and there was a set of twins. And if you're from Anderson, you're going to actually be able to figure this out. They were two older gentlemen. They were a set of twins, and this is when cocaine kind of came about. And so we were out at the park, and this guy was, he was definitely, I don't know, you know what? I don't know if he was a dealer as much, but he definitely had something going on illegal. And so we out there playing basketball, Streety Park. You want to be the king.
Right.
So, but he would always, when he pulled up, either in one of his cars, either his car, his 18-wheeler, or a motorcycle, he would buy us the ice cream truck, come by, get what y'all want, go over there to it slips my mind right now, and I'm embarrassed by that, but Brown's grandmother spot, and get y'all
candy stop.
the candy stop,
Yeah.
go get you something,
Right.
So one day he was out there and he didn't say anything to us, so we went over to him, and he pulled out this dollar bill. And it's like, man, if I ever see y'all doing this, I'm gonna kill y'all. And what is that?
Right.
I didn't think anything of it, but some of the cats, as we walked away, was like, it must be cool. He doing it.
Right. Peer pressure.
It ain't even peer pressure. It's a terrible example.
A terrible example of an adult.
But and fast forward, and that's not the end of the story. And fast forward, probably 10 years. These are some of the cats that ended up being some of your more powerful drug dealers.
Turned on at an early age.
more powerful drug dealers or just criminals or drug addicts
Mm-hmm.
for that matter. You know what I'm saying? Because they followed the move of this man that we held in such high esteem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
again, adults play a big role in that.
Right. So it's kind of important to know who your kids is looking up to if it ain't you.
It's tough, man.
Right.
It's tough. I mean, but nowadays they barely go to the park.
Right. Ain't nobody outside playing.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Which is even worse.
Well, hopefully, like I said, podcasts like this and things that we're going to be doing in the community will help get these kids along better, so they won't have those type of stories that we have. All right, Brother Marquise. Well, we've been almost here for a almost hour. Where
wow.
does the time go?
No, right? That's crazy.
Right. So this is the initial podcast of Learning with Dante. And over the next couple months, I'm going to have special guests, and we're going to hit a lot of topics. I know we talked about boys' puberty on this one. I'm going to bring in my wife, and we're going to talk about the female side of puberty. I feel like she would be a
Much better than us.
Yeah, because the only thing I can tell you about women and girls is they crazy, but I know it goes deeper than that.
But we need you.
Yeah. So I appreciate you doing this with me, man.
Oh,
and,
man. Anytime.
It's been a great hour, a fast hour.
Very much so.
Hopefully you learned something, you was entertained. And be on the lookout for more episodes and more topics like this. And thank you for tuning in with Learning with Dante.
Yes, sir.
You must learn. You must learn.